Hi guys, it's Diminishing Dawn here, and today I have an interesting topic that I want to discuss, and it actually arose from a question that I got from a lady in my support group who is about 3 to 4 weeks out, and she kind of messaged me, and she was in a panic because she was worried that she had stretched her pouch because she wasn't having a feeling of fullness. Now, being that she's only 3-4 weeks out, we all know that liquids go right through the pouch, and so it's not unusual that she wasn't feeling full yet. Typical, right? I mean, we all worry about that at the beginning. And then I rest assured that this is pretty much standard, and when she gets to food, things will generally be pretty different, and her nerves are all cut and all that kind of thing. So then she messaged me and she asked me about the stretching the pouch, because a lady in our support group has mentioned that she wants to go for a revision, which is, a reconstruction of your surgery, reconstruction of the pouch to make it smaller. So we started talking, and she actually asked me two things. She said, number one, can you tell me if you stretch your pouch? And number two, can you give me a piece of advice that, might help me in my journey? What's the number one piece of advice you would give to a new post-op? So I'm going to tackle those today, since I don't know what else to tell you and not to bore you. So I thought, heck, I might as well include those on my video today. So when I was talking to her about the stretching the pouch thing, I hear that a lot, especially in long-timer groups. I have a long-timer group on Facebook, and a lot of people worry about stretching the pouch. So my thing, I'm not a big fan of the 5-day pouch test thing, unless you're using it to decarb it. I mean, it's not something that I'm a great believer in. But I said, you know what, there's a way you can test your pouch, very simple. Get a piece, get a plate and a piece of chicken or a piece of steak, and see how much of that you can eat. Very simply, you'll know. And whenever people tell me that they think they stretch their pouch and they try that test and they give it a go, they say, wow, the steak hit me like a ton of bricks. And I could only eat, 3 ounces, 4 ounces, maybe even 5 ounces of meat. And bam, I was full. And I said, that's exactly it. The thing is, we can eat a ton of processed food. Pretzels, popcorn, cookies, whatever. Usually those go right through us and don't satisfy us. And, I could easily buy a whole package, 100-calorie packages, those 100-calorie packages of cookies or whatever, and I could eat the whole box. Easy. But when it comes to dense protein, I'm full practically just right after I begin, because it hits really hard and it keeps you full. And I say, there you go. I say, if you go back to basics and you see that dense protein is going to fill you up, it sure changes the way that you eat. And changing the way that you eat, of course, will bring on some loss. And that's what I'm finding myself right now, doing a high fat, high protein eating right now is making me lose again after 6 years. So it's awesome. And that's really the key. So I said, there you go. Now you know. And so many people try that out and they say, you know what, you're right. It's the choices that I'm making, things that I'm putting in my pouch that are the problem. And so that's the best test for me. So this kind of goes in alignment with what I was talking about this lady, about one piece of advice I would give her for her journey, since she's just starting out. And it's kind of the same idea, and quite frankly, it's to keep the crap out of your diet as long as you can, and to concentrate on the protein for losing protein, to keep the processed stuff out, quite frankly. I see a lot of people that are fresh out of surgery, and even a lot of weight loss groups online that are very focused on recipes for breads and cookies and protein ice cream. And while I guess, these things have their place, they really shouldn't be a mainstay of your diet. It should be protein, meat, cheese, fish, whatever, vegetables, and, maybe some fruit. But it should be primarily those two things, and then a little bit of carbs at the end kind of thing. But I see people like getting really tempted early and eating things like no sugar added chocolate and cheesecake. And I see a lot of people that message me or put on boards or whatever how they feel like they're failing really early, and that scares me. And it's usually because they're eating too much and putting things in their diet that they don't need right away. My philosophy for newbies is if you're not hungry and you can resist it, put off the processed foods as long as you can. Eat as clean as you can. Clean eating from the outside of the supermarket, not the processed stuff in the middle of the supermarket. Clean eating is going to get you to go faster. Protect the pouch, keep it small. Eat those things that you're supposed to be eating. Eat primarily for nutrition, not for the head stuff. Get to goal. Focus on that. Focus on getting to goal, because there's so many people that don't get to their goal or get off track early. I had one lady in my support group who said to me, Dawn, I'm 6 months out and I've eaten everything and I feel like I'm failing at this. I don't want people to fail. I want people to reach success, and I'd rather that you play it conservatively with your eating and get to go early and then bring in the treats. The best thing I can tell you to do is not to bring in what I call the sugar slut too early, because she sets off cravings. And it's proven that at 6 months with an RNY, at 6 months, a lot of people start to have low blood sugar and then the blood sugar issues, and they end up having cravings return very, very strong compared to previous to surgery. There's documented studies on that. For some people, they never get their hunger back. But at 6 months out, it seems to start the turnaround for the cravings to really come back. So the best advice I can give anybody out there that's new post-op or pre-op is to worry about that goal. Keep the carbs and processed stuff down as much as you can. Keep the crap out. Keep the triggers out of your life and focus on getting to that goal, because you will be so proud of yourself to get to where you want to go. And I don't want to see anybody struggling. I've seen too many people struggling too early, and I don't want that for any of you. So that would be my best piece of advice. I mean, I learned I can't bring my triggers in. I can't. And the thing is, I did the 100-calorie snack pack thing, and I realized how much of a lie that is, because guess what? After a while, 100-calorie snack pack didn't fill me up. And it would be 2, and then it could be 3, and then it could be the whole package. And it was just like a sugar trap. Keep the sugar, keep the processed stuff out, man. It's only going to set off triggers, and it's going to stop you from getting to your goal. And sometimes in groups, I see people say, well, I'm still eating that, and I'm still losing. Yes, you may. You may, absolutely. I mean, I could go to Tim Hortons a month out and I might not dump. Doesn't mean that having a donut or having a muffin is the right thing to do, even though you're not dumping and even though you're still losing weight. The surgery is very, very gracious and very, very forgiving for a long time. But after a while, it's not so forgiving anymore. So if I can tell you one thing, it's to get to your weight and then worry about the treats and then worry about the processed stuff. I wish you all lots of love and success and getting to goal. Have a great night.